All right, and welcome back to Talking Tactical Podcast. We are on episode 21. We're going to be talking gear, not just normal gear, random gear. So we're not talking mass. All right, and welcome back
like
to
that.
Talking Tactical
And I
Podcast.
got
We
a
are on
video.
episode. There we go. Totally had the Facebook video. Audio kicked in for a second. So as always, I'm joined by my co-host Nero. So welcome to the show, everybody. Can you hear me at all?
Oh yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, like just awkwardly, just for that second there, you're just like, just stand here for a second. All right, so what have you been up to, Nero?
Not much. Work. How long has it been since we?
2 weeks. Last week's episode unfortunately got canned last minute, and then we're back this week, so it's been just a bi-weekly, this one.
So not since Fan Expo.
Not since Fan Expo.
Well, I went to Fan Expo 2 weekends ago.
Ooh.
That was a blast. I dressed up. I did the old Deadpool again. Huge hit with kids.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, the kids don't like the Ryan Reynolds one. They much prefer the old-fashioned morph suit Deadpool. And
Yeah.
I was surprisingly, I couldn't see very well, so I was very polite to everyone because I was bumping into everyone, so I wasn't swearing and I wasn't being my normal self, which was, hey Jester, Nate, whatever. Hey Nate. Hey
Nate
you
Jester
guys.
Hollander. Hey guys.
Hey you guys.
Yeah, so you were on Instagram.
But like I
that
was
looked
saying,
like a lot of fun. Like you were having fun at least.
yeah, an old paintball friend who I actually worked with in film. Thank you. I love my kitten patch as well. I wish I could eat a whole one. Well, I can. I do regularly. I'm not talking about. So yeah, it was fun. I didn't actually. Oh no, I did. I ended up grabbing an old whiskey 2-4. I think it was a whiskey 2-4, not whiskey 2-4. Skunkworks, a drop leg from the I don't remember who. I got it from Derek Hurd, I believe.
Okay.
But I had that on my leg. I didn't bring a gun or anything. I actually brought an Adventure Time sword. Kind of did. That was fun. I brought Jake's. Excuse me. No, Finn. Finn the human. I brought that yellow sword.
Nice.
Of his, and that was fun. And then we got a picture of Sam on top of Toothless with the sword out.
Nice. Did
that
I
was
see
fun.
that? Or no, I saw your steed. I saw you.
I was
steed.
on top of James White again, paintball buddy. So glad he talked us into it last minute. He was just like, "Hey, do you want to come?" And well, he put a post on Facebook, and I messaged him, "Well, how much is it going to cost?"
Yeah.
And right away he said, "It's only $50." I was like, I open up the bank account. It's this or there's no paintball. There's no paintball. Black Flag's going to be canceled.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, let's go. It was. Oh, it's so unfortunate.
It's one of those ones.
Yeah.
It happens. The community needs to get behind it. And they didn't.
It was very, very upsetting. I was
So-
so excited for that game.
Yeah.
I wanted to just crawl around on my belly all night
Yeah.
and knife people.
But well, hopefully we'll be able to see something again. There is the November game still. That one's going on. So check it out online. And anyone.
Was that Headquarters 3?
I think so. But it would be. What is it? I'll check it really quick here. Actually, get the Facebook up.
Okay.
So it's tier 1 scenarios that's running it. And anyone who had pre-regged, check out the message from them because they have some stuff in there for anyone who did pre-reg for that. It's Headquarters 3 at Crazy Bill's November 18th, and it's a Saturday. As long as I don't have Christmas stuff going on with extra family, I'm going there.
Yeah.
So, that's my only thing with that timeline.
Well, I could, if I worked a Friday, I would just drive straight there the Saturday night and sleep in my car. That'd be
the good one.
Maybe. We did pre-reg for this, so I think we got our admission comped.
Yeah.
Sorry for that one. Thank you
good.
very much, James Collette. If you're hearing this, thank you very much. He on the day before, on Labor Day weekend, he threw in his hat and gave me a pre-reg. Very, very happy for that. Very thankful for him.
And and then for me, the Sunday that the event was supposed to be is I will be at Sector. There's a zombie mini event that the head ref's running there, so I'm actually going to general slash play a role in the event, so that'll be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. And I got 3 weddings coming up, so it's like, oh, I want to go paintballing for stress relief, and it's not available.
Hey, Gallagher. He heroed us again. Hero.
But yeah, so on to the topic tonight. Yeah, so I'm going to pick a topic. You're going to go on random segues, and I'm going to bring it back to the topic. And you're going to go on random segues, and I'll go on segues. So
business as usual.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll drink in between.
Yeah.
So what are you drinking tonight?
I have some Guinness, which is half empty, which is why I brought another one here with me. So that's always important. What do you got rocking tonight? Yeah. Well, you get it in the can, then just pour it out into glass.
So. Sounds normal. Yeah, I know, normal. I drink, he talks, I talk, he drinks.
Yeah, the system works, continues to work. Should get George on here with a couple beers in him. That'll be fun.
We will. Very soon, we've been in talks with a couple of people. We'll have some special guests.
Yep. More stuff coming.
Coming on soon.
Yeah. So let's start. Let's
if you'd like to.
Gear.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. Talk gear.
So
old gear,
new gear. So the whole thing is we're going to focus on not like the traditional stuff. So let's start with something that I think people use, and I always wonder really how much you need it and how much you're convinced yourself you needed it. Magpuls.
Never used anything Magpul.
Like just like you put like the stubbies on there and just grab them.
No.
I've used them. I don't see the point in them.
I use gaffer tape.
Yeah.
I use gaffer tape.
It's a good one. And I think people like use it because they think that they're going to be in awkward situations. So let's be frank here is that, oh, thank you, Gallagher. That's mental image I didn't need, and Jarvis is scarred now. Is that people think they're going to be on their back or in awkward spots more often than they are. One thing I find in MagFed is I'm actually more often standing or on my knees. Like I don't have a problem usually getting my mags out. And you took that the wrong way. Because Gallagher's in the shower right now.
And you're getting your mags out on your knees.
Yeah, what happens? But yeah, so
Gallagher's in the shower?
Yeah, so I think that's something that people buy, maybe not need necessarily. So on to that.
Of course, it's just that's not gear. I don't find that to be gear. That's accessories. That's like bells and whistles. That's like window tint and underglow.
But let's talk about.
So you're talking about Christmas trees. Yeah, the guys who put lasers and strobe lights and EOTechs, real EOTechs, with like 1-inch risers on a paintball gun that costs less than the fucking sight that's on it. Just, it's stupid. It's a game. Like. Half the time I don't have sights. When I do, I have a broken EOTech that I just put on there. Yeah. That I use as a sight window. When I'm shooting around corners, I use it to guesstimate. Sometimes I use a good reflection out of it because that red tint does give me a good reflection around a corner. Okay. Light refraction.
And that's the thing.
Other than that, it's just there for show. I've never actually. I don't think I've ever tuned a sight for a paintball gun except maybe a Hammer 7. And that was nearly impossible.
Now, like, if you're dedicated first strike, I get it. I do get it. If you're dedicating yourself and that is your loadout, they make sense. Other than that, I don't. We're going to get... oh, crap. Who was it last show that we said we were going to get on? From Vice.
Rolo,
thank you. I wanted to say Razan. I'm like, I know I'm wrong name here. Rolo.
We're going to name names or anything.
Yeah, but we're going to try and get him on one time because me
special guest.
Yeah, had a great conversation. But... yeah, like not something you might need. So what about mag couplers?
Never used them either. I don't even they're just Christmas tree. Again, more Christmas tree. I see the advantage of just being able to flip a mag. Yep. But I use Zetas. I fucking hate flipping my mags. Everybody fucking hates flipping their mags. I mean, it's a necessary evil. I love having 10 or 20 shots right there on the fly. It's a little more convenient to flip a mag than it is to pull out a fresh one. Yep. But if you've trained to just forever...
So the guys who I run with that use
there's no... Yeah.
They used them all the time. George.
Yeah, but they use a side-by-side coupler, right?
Yeah, a little bit different. A little bit different. And I have seen people do that where they off-center them just that little bit that they'll just work. I don't like it though because it throws off the weight of the marker to me. makes handling it a little bit weirder. All of that is just like, don't enjoy it. But I can understand it. The other thing too is, like you said, Christmas tree. I think people see it on Call of Duty. Oh, this was a perk and it let me reload my gun faster, so I'm gonna get it there. And the other part too is like, you know what? Get 2 milsig mags, do them like vertical, like so you have to actually flip it, and then put those on a dump pouch and tell me that you don't feel weighted down, because those do not fit in a mag like holster easily. And when I had my M17, I picked up a mag coupler. I used it for the first mag into a game, and I convinced myself it was worth it, and it never was. It never was. I think I did it for like a month, and then I was like, nope, and I never put it back on my mags again. And I
Christmas.
And like you said, like the Christmas decorations and the dam, they're really well designed. They make sense. Same thing. I couldn't do it. I didn't like it. Eric commented he uses a coupler for my first 2 mags. You're right. Like initially, it makes sense. Your initial loadout, and let's even
take up a little extra, too much room extra in your dump pouch.
Yeah,
I understand what. Yeah, good for your first 2 mags. That's why like I'll always do my first mag first strikes, because I know contact will be further away, generally, because I'm much faster than most people, and it's my first mag is always something that I can keep track of, but never Phas mags. I'm not a fan of Phas mags. They're too like every Phas mag I've ever used broke, and then fast mags are way too expensive.
See, I use them.
Ones.
Yeah, I use the plastic ones that Milsig has for my leg holster, and that's one thing to mention. Eric kind of when he commented that, it made me think of it. If you're running a light setup, you're running like 3 on your leg, 2 in the marker with a coupler. Okay, that makes sense if you're trying to condense gear down, but as like a standard, I have my full vest, I have my full loadout, I don't get them, and I don't understand them, but they're out there, and I know some people enjoy them, so that's why I said like it's interesting to have that dialogue of when are they good, when aren't they good, and what are the pros and cons on them. So then,
of course.
So moving on to mag holders then. So
okay, like pouches,
mag pouches.
Oh, okay.
So what are your go-tos for rifle mags? Because I know you run Zetas normally, but they're kind of a unique market.
Although when I run, well, it depends on the rifle that I have. Like I've run T15s, I've run the TGR2 or the TGRs. I've run TGR2. So yeah, TGR2s. I never touched TGR1. No, well, yeah, just like on a shelf, but I've never used one in a game.
Yeah.
But every time it's a different mag for the different guns, so I have no real choice. And then my M17s. I always had milsig mags because like before that, like my MK2s and things like that, or my RAP 4s. When I got a RAP 4, I only had RAP 4 mags that came with it. Hi, Susan, whomever Susan is, friend of yours. Oh, and he blushes.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't recognize the name, but I'm bad with names at first on Facebook. But yeah, so
I don't know names.
But like, what about this design? So people will run Velcro. I think is a horrible idea to hold your mag closed.
What I do, yeah,
and then people run.
It's a great idea to hold it closed, but it's a terrible idea if you're playing CQC Mama Bear. I'm confused. Do we have a troll in the? I'm very confused.
Oh, yeah, she's a photographer, I think. But no, I do know. The moment I looked it up, I'm like, oh, I have seen her in groups and everything. She's in the paintball community.
Hi, Jamie.
So I don't know her.
Okay. Well, no, everybody here obviously
Yeah.
is in the paintball community, or they know someone who's in the
Sorry,
paintball
Susan.
community. They wouldn't be here.
Like I said, bad
I'm
with
sure
names, but the moment I saw some
terrible
pictures,
names.
I'm like, oh, I know who we're talking now.
If we saw each other there, I'd be like, "Hey, how's it going, Mama Bear?" I don't know. Hi, Terry. Stop the show. Yeah, well, come on. Of course, it's stop the show because I hate for someone I don't know to say hi and be like, "Oh, who the fuck?"
I feel like we should know.
I feel terrible.
Yeah.
I feel absolutely terrible. That's
So-
good for you. Anyways, so that's
yeah. Go ahead.
Fast mags I've never used. So with Velcro, when I'm like geared up and getting ready to go, everything's Velcroed up. But as soon as I get to the end zone, I guess, to home base, I tuck all my Velcro in. So when I get to that situation. It's just swap, swap,
Yep.
swap. Half the time I'm dropping mags down the hall and then walking. Like, feel like Les Stroud picking up a camera halfway down a hallway. It's like, fuck, so I'm gonna lose those.
Well, I think I told you I lost first 15 minutes at Honey Badger. I lost my M5 mag, and I never found it until the end of the day, where someone was like, "Yeah, mag found," and I'm like, "Oh, thank God!" But yeah, hi Corey. But so,
I found gear. This is actually a good one. Good segue. Lost gear. Lost gear found is even better. And this is, I tell this story every time we go to a Sega. We went to Alien Aggression 1 as ODST, and I got this nice knife, and I took my paracord and I wrapped it up. I shaved down the handle, wrapped it in paracord, made it really personalized, and I had it in, excuse me, very much like the chest rig like an ODST had in the game. It was very unique, and I hadn't seen it done anywhere else. Anyways, I lose this knife out on the field because, of course, I did. I spent so much time on it. Karma sucks and takes away things from me. A year later, after like all the shit with ODST started to end, and I had like really gotten in with the CQB crowd fully. We get back over and we play through the game, and sure enough, in the lost and found bin, there's my fucking knife. And I'm like, that's my knife. And they're like, you can't just say that's your knife. How can you prove it? I'm like, I have a picture from last year's game. Pull it up, and sure enough, from Impact Imagery. Hi, Carlos. Hi, Shirley. Sure enough, I flipped through to Patrick's page, and boom, there it is. That's me from last year. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, that's it. And sure, it's weathered. It's covered in sand. Like, it's fucked, but it's still a rubber knife. So like,
oh yeah, it's gonna last. It's gonna last.
And I know I lost it in Hillbilly Hills, so it was buried in the sand for a year, through winter, through everything. It was just so serendipitous that I lost it during that big game, and it was found during that big game.
Yeah,
I love that story. It's just like that. Those guys who throw away their wedding rings and like catch a fish, and sure enough, it's inside their belly. So it's an old sailors thing.
It is. Happened. Oh no, and I've heard them and I've seen them. It's just funny. Like as you say it, I'm like, yeah, I know those ones. Was that when you were? So that? Corey, were you Deadpool when you were? Probably not the first time, but probably the second time.
Never with ODST. It was that one. The one that I found my knife was the one that I wore the face mask. That was the one before Deadpool. That's the one where there's the picture of the wolf. Telling a story, like he's just standing up at his booth and everybody's sitting all cross-legged.
Oh, I remember the story.
Everybody was standing at one point and he was telling a story, and I just sat down like, Uncle Wolf's telling a story, and I just looked up at him, and sure enough, within like 5 minutes, everybody else had sat down around him, and it was just like, this is fucking awesome. And I had one of those the airsoft face shields. Yeah, I had one of those on, and like a pair of, I don't even remember what the pants were. I don't know. I was all camoed out. But it just, it was the first time I got that kind of like experience. It was before Deadpool was even popular, and it was awesome. Fuck you, Scott.
Hi, Daryl. Yeah, so with the mag holders,
hi, Fat Damon.
The nickname that everyone goes, wait, what? Oh, yeah, I see that. And then, yeah, so like to go back to the Magpools and stuff, like I've been using Phasma.
Hey, there's a new movie. There's a new movie out with Fat Damon as Fat Damon. Not this Fat Damon, but like the real Fat Damon as Fat Damon being fat again. Made me laugh so hard. It just came out in theaters. I just saw the con something. Not the con artist. First time I met you, you were dressed as Deadpool, and you knifed me in the back. I don't know where or when that was, but thank you. I don't remember. Sorry? But that was CQB, I think. That Halloween game. That goes back to Gear Past. I played an entire game in October, late October, in a fucking morph suit. Yeah, that was cold.
That would be a lot of
a morph suit and a jock. I did wear a jock.
Oh, okay, so you're stuffing.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not stuffing. That was That was the first time I ever wore a jock to paintball. It was I needed that. I caught one. It was good. I was happy. It was square too. Like it would have done damage. Oh, thank you again, Too Tall for that. Oh no, Too Tall wasn't that. It was Brett. Brett. He was then a zombie for the rest of the day, so I had fun shooting him as he.
What about theme stuff? Let's talk that actually. Like,
yeah, sure.
Like when you get dressed up. So like one joke is that like Halloween's coming up. I actually have a booked off with vacation. I have little ones. We're gonna go out. I was looking at stuff and I'm like, I might get like an Assassin's Creed sweater, throw it on, throw the hood up over my mask just for a fun paintball outfit because it's something simple. Don't see many people do it. And so like there's extremes like Aztec who like he's built a custom armor, he rocks it, he sweats his ass off to make himself a unique player on the field. Props to Patrick for that. What
and
do
to protect
you think
himself,
of that?
That pretty face Patrick's.
Oh yeah.
He can't be hurt. I love him so much. He's a great friend. We played Siege together. We played Wildlands together. He's kind of given up on paintball and he started doing live streaming with his Xbox. It's pretty funny to watch.
Destiny?
I like watching. Yeah, I don't know. All kinds of games.
Destiny 2. Left there. He's also been getting more outside of the gear. Like he was at Honey Badger with
back
his
to gear
other stuff. But
I've never seen it. He played without gear.
Yeah, at Honey Badger he was. Just
I guess dye is kind of like, listen, you gotta put on something that's not your armor and wear more dye.
No, I think he was just too hot. Like it was a hot day, and he was just like, I'm just gonna rock it. But every once in a while, like I see him. Actually, it's funny. There's a picture of him from Sector.
You know, we're not talking about.
I
know it's talking tactable, which is the new word that I'm going to use. SAS Fort Worth, Texas, in the house. Hey, Texas. Glad you guys didn't get hit too badly by all that nonsense. My older sister, who is in not Houston, Dallas, she got away pretty much scot-free. They had like an hour of hail, and that was it.
That's good.
But welcome. Glad you guys are still here and have it in life.
Yeah. So then, so costumes and gear, like they can work.
Yep, costumes.
They
We'll go back. We can also go back to any kind of gear. Speedball. Everybody started with some kind of a back rig. I know. I for one started off with all my pods on my back, big hopper monster before MagFed started out, and it's crazy.
Yeah, and like it's one of those things like bring in the customization. Like don't think that you have to be stuck in your camo, your archetype. Oh, I'm a scenario player, this is what I have to wear. Like I rock a t-shirt pretty much every time, and it's like, no, like let's have fun. Like I have a green one, sure, but I wear my field and it's like decked out in orange logo stuff on it, and have fun with that part.
Well, there's an entire league. There's the entire Woodsball League. I think it is NWL.
UWL.
But they play it UWL. Thank you very much. They play mostly speedball, hopper, guns, and pod holders and whatnot, but mostly mag-fed or mostly tactical gear because they're playing in the woods, and it's a great game. One of their like phenoms, Jake Balaka, I always fuck up his name. Wonderful guy. Used to train every day at Georgina. Like he would show up after working 8-hour days in the city, drive all the way back up to Georgina. Run drills for like 3-4 hours.
Yep.
And then every once in a while I'd join in with him. I couldn't keep up with this guy, and he was a scout too, so that's one of his jobs.
It's one of those things
I don't have the cardio.
Yeah, like the tournament scene, which I think MagFed needs because it gives us the competitive and the going on from there, is that like it pushes you to go better. And one thing is like, speedball, everyone gives it crap on the scenario field and the big games, and I get it, but you know what, you go 5v5 on an airball field or woodball field, like there's a reason those guys have $1,500 markers. It's a tactical advantage. Yeah, exactly.
There's a tactical advantage to having fast gun, easily removable mags, we'll call them mags, to refill your hopper. It just makes perfect sense. And obviously they train that way, and they train to use their mags from their back, opposite to their front. It's just you train the way you play, and you play the way you train, and they do their thing and we do ours. It's still a sport, still the same sport, we're still playing the same game. But when they come out, it is funny when they come out to a scenario game dressed like not like clowns, but in bright flamboyant colors. It gets so frustrating. But they're just easier targets, and let the first strikes fly.
Yep. Well, first strikes I think is the leveling
Equalizer.
field that we've seen. Yeah, finally in
Yep,
the industry.
it's
which is great.
it's a force equal. It's a force multiplier for either
Yeah.
side that just eliminates those heavy gunners. Because
Yep.
as soon as the heavy gunner opens up and one of those things goes over his head, it's over.
Yep.
He stops shooting or he starts aiming for the sniper, and everybody else in a prime scenario protects their scout. You know,
Exactly, and it's one of those things is that to move up either
they're clowns or they are clowns. Was it a typo? You got to be specific, man.
but yeah, like to go to the tactical side of that, like to
Yep.
gear off in the gear, is that like yeah, like you make an impact on the field. Either you're causing eliminations or you are a new focus fire, so other people can do stuff on the field. It is not a one man show. It is a team effort, and that's the perfect example. If I book it up and you do first strikes and all of a sudden guns are focused on you, we move down. And Terry did mean that they are clowns, so they are clowns. Damn auto correct.
Sure.
So on to some other gear, like some more random stuff. What about gloves and I'm gonna say
Gloves are mandatory. Like my hands.
arm pads
I
and arm
played-
pads. That's what I'm looking for.
No, I've gotten like I've had people I know who quit games because they got tattoos like years ago, and they got hit once and were like, "Oh, it fucked up my tattoo. I'm not playing this anymore," and went and sat in the fucking staging area for the rest of the game, and then like did kilts. And the guys who run around in kilts, those guys are animals. I would,
love it.
especially the guys who do it proper. The ones who do it proper get all the props.
There are guys at 0 hour where like you had to stare at them for a second to realize they were wearing a kilt, and I'm like, I just respect that so much, and I'm
Yeah,
tempted.
yeah.
I'm really tempted
Yeah.
to do it one time.
If I wish I brought my fucking Deadpool outfit, because then everybody would just know immediately who I was, and
Yeah.
it would be great.
Yeah. So
This guy, yeah, Alexander.
And yeah, no, the kilts are a good one, but I think so. It's a funny thing for me. Like you're right, gloves are essential for me. I always have to wear them.
Yeah.
But arm pads are funny. Like I find I keep going back to them now. So one time I'm like, I'm gonna wear my t-shirt.
Wear long sleeves. Yes,
But-
okay with arm pad. Yeah.
but
Wear
that's
long
the thing
sleeves.
is-
Wear
but
long
here-
sleeves.
No, let
And then
me
you don't
finish.
have to wear arm pads.
Let me
Go
finish.
ahead.
So the arm pads
Let
are
me
there
finish.
because I want to
It's
run
not my
pistol and then I want to do slides. I want to move up like I would when I was playing speedball and I did before. But more often than not, I'm like, no, I'm still going for soccer slides. Or if I'm cutting through the brush, yes, they were nice, like to stop the itches and things like that. Because one thing I will mention was I made a bump through one game and I cut through grass and I only had my t-shirt and my gloves on, but my arms just broke out in rashes and I was itchy for the rest of the day. I didn't hit anything I shouldn't have. It was just the irritation of sweat, heat, and grass that had been undisturbed. So yeah, and then Terry's a good point too. Like hand shots happen a lot, and with first strikes now, it is something that's needed for sure. So
At least show these off. They're too much of a whitewash, but like my hands are scarred. Like every one of my knuckles are broken, and it's all from paintball. It's all from catching a first strike, or like tons of scars are from catching first strikes in the hands. It sucks, especially point blank, because I play close to the chest, as everybody knows, and I've gotten I used to play barehanded for the longest time until I caught my first strike in the hand, and then every time after that, it was always the freak chance that I didn't have my gloves on that I would catch another first strike in the hand, or
Corey just said that in the comments.
or a speedballer.
Yeah, he said
it's
he
always the
loans it.
time.
Yeah. So here's the question though. There's three types of gloves
Pardon
you
me.
can kind of see. Do you go for the knuckle protector hard gloves, like
Full
for
hand.
biking?
Full hand.
No,
yeah.
no,
Full
finish.
hand.
But like,
Oakley's.
so knuckle protectors, soft, so padded ones, or do you go for just like the mechanical glove that it's more there for grip and other things? What do you say?
Okay, yeah, no, I forgot about those. I like the mechanics gloves with the rubber on the knuckles.
Okay,
But,
so more like the bouncy,
they
but not.
no, they're the mechanics gloves. But at the same time, I really prefer those Oakleys. They just feel better because I don't feel any impact.
Yeah.
When I get hit. Yeah, unfortunately, because the only Oakley gloves you can really get around are not, and they break when they get shot. Unfortunately, especially with first strikes, because they're not made of fiberglass. but I hate it. I hate getting shot in the hands.
Yeah.
But I hurt my hands. I work with my hands, and I hurt my hands all the time.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
I think Nathan commented
Gotta
on,
protect the knuckle.
yeah, mechanic impact gloves are what they're called, because they do have a sports line now. They actually like wow,
Yes.
people are using these and they're great. I like those for
Well,
walk-on
police
days.
use them.
Yeah. I like
Law
those ones
enforcement, firefighters, military guys use them. Security, everybody, paramedics. They're just they've got ones now that are bio. They've got ones that are. They've got everything, man.
Yeah.
They've started really stepping up. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. And I like those ones for like the walk-on days, but if I ever like go into one where I'm like, I'm going to be at the front line and there's going to be like 50 speedballers trying to shoot at me, then I usually like my hard knuckle ones, because I will find that like my hands get destroyed. And Nathan commented too, like bounces. So the gear that's designed to bounce, we don't see it as much in scenario. What do you think of it though? Because you do see the fall over from speedball to scenario, and people gear up to bounce. What are your thoughts?
I hate it. So the same rules as a ghillie suit should apply to them. Bounces count as hits.
Yeah.
Period. You are wearing a balloon. Every bounce counts as a hit.
Yeah, like, and I see it more often. Like, if you're wearing a vest, like
unless it's a milsim game. Sorry. Let me. Okay, sorry, may I?
Go ahead.
Unless it's a milsim game, and I do wear loose fitting clothes anyways, because it just. I find I don't know. It gives a false target, and I can always I can breathe a lot better. Especially when I'm doing knife only, I'll wear the most loose fitting or limited gear as possible. But if you go out there specifically with bounce gear on during a milsig game, or a magfed or a milsim game, you're an asshole. You're going out to cheat, and it's just not fair. And that's one of my biggest. I always hate it. That's my biggest twitch on the field is people who break the rules. I don't care what you do.
Break and bend to their benefit.
But don't. Bend to your benefit. To put other people out.
Yeah.
And I mean, first strikes bend the rules as far as like paintball, it's not a ball. But at the same time, those things are a force multiplier. Ghillie suits are a force multiplier. Having the ability to have rounds kind of curtain off you is a force multiplier in a way. Having a heavy gun is a force multiplier. Like everything. Yeah. And adds up. But sorry, go ahead.
And part of the thing too, though, is that like it's different than we're talking like you're mirrored up with somebody and you have a loose shirt and the paintball catches the loose shirt, like you never actually hit a body, versus it pretty much caught you full on and then it gets tangled and wrapped. The other one too, though, is that like in milsim, because we see people wearing vests, so I'm going to use Maple Leaf Squad as the example here. They use HK jerseys as their jersey. Yeah, they have padding on the chest and on the forearm naturally, so that's one where they wear their vest though, so their body shots are still hitting, their arms bounce a little bit more. That's one that it bends, it doesn't break, and it's not necessarily intentional as much as it's a paintball product to use and it's a logo. My flip
it doesn't
side,
break
though,
any rules in my mind.
But here's my flip side though. I wear something that is incredibly bouncy, has saved me from elimination a lot of time, and
your Armadillo.
Exactly. Yeah. The Armadillo dreads. So they bounce all the time. Gillo. The perfect example.
Sorry, Graham.
Is that me and you
That's
had
why
a one-on-one.
I call it Armadillo, because I know Graham owns it. I figured he'd throw a bit of his name in there, but he's not vain in any way. So tip of the hat to you, sir.
But like me and you had a one-on-one. You caught me in the head. It bounced. We eliminate each other at the same time, but I didn't technically eliminate because it bounced. I think that was like one of the first times we had a good one-on-one, and it was like
we came right up and you fell backwards. No, that was you.
No, you didn't. I didn't fall backwards. I turned around and you were posted up on me, and Jamie was just about to blow the whistle to start the game. So you took your shots. I jumped in, came out, and then I hit you. You hit me, but mine bounced, and I kept playing. Yeah. And afterwards, I kind of looked at it, and I was like, my thinking was it was 2-on-1. No, I'm going to go for the win because that's my competitive side. But afterwards, I was like, no, I should have respected the hit and walked off. And it's a tomato thing, like you said. Like, but earlier you said if you wear
as long as you checked, as long as you felt the impact and checked, perfectly okay. If you didn't even check, then I'd be upset.
Oh yeah,
and You did. I saw you because you ducked behind a car and checked in the window.
The spindle. It was
At
the
least
spindle,
you
I think,
checked.
at that time. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
At least you checked, you know?
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that like there are gear out there, and I think the other one too is that I think that was nasty.
Pardon
I
Excuse me,
think
pardon me.
dressing yourself to enable yourself to do things. So here's an example. I hated cutting through the woods when I first started playing because the scratches on my arms and the itches after, because I have like pollen allergies. So I wore my
Terry, I know it was
I wore my arm
underappreciated.
pads to let me cut through and cover that up. So if you start with one set of gear that lets you play or evolve your game, but then you pull it back as time goes on, I think that's the right thing. Don't surround yourself in the bubble, but be secure and confident going forward, and then pull it back and improve your game style as you go. That's personal opinion on gear like that. So that's the rant.
Oh, fair enough. No, perfectly. If you're going out there to give yourself an advantage, intentionally, yeah. If it's, I don't know. It's like doing steroids. If you're doing steroids to do steroids to give yourself an edge over everybody else, you're an asshole. But if somebody slips you steroids and you don't really realize you're doing steroids, then you're still an asshole. But at the same time, you don't know you're an asshole, so it's okay.
The other one too, though, is that like using the renters as the example. They come out in puffy sweaters and layered up because they don't want to get hurt.
Guilty. First time I ever played paintball, I was padded to the nines until I realized it really didn't bother me. It hurt, but it didn't bug me.
Yeah.
At all.
And then you slowly bring it back, and that's technically an advantage. But
you build up an immunity. It's like the iron shirt. I flinch. Look at those. Great example is the professional speedballers, the guys who do that every day. They literally have an iron shirt. I've seen those guys get lit up and not move until a ref walked over and moved them.
Yep.
Like they just kept on their post, didn't move until somebody physically got over and moved them.
I think there's a picture on GI video of it, and it's like, it's slow-mo, and I forget, and I think it's somebody from Texas who got it, and it was just like, he just was yellow at the end of it, and it was just, he went into a cross stream he shouldn't have, and it was just like, he just kind of walks and goes, well, that just happened. And as much people say, like, they're wearing bounce shirts, bounce vests, it's like, that's lessens the impact, it doesn't stop the impact. So definitely it's something there. Any other random pieces of gear think of? Because we covered Magpoles, we kind of covered
random pieces.
Like the Christmas tree, like to go back to the Christmas tree, like you said.
Well, Christmas tree, anything, okay. Prime example is a strobe light. I flippin' hate strobe lights. Did you laugh or was
I
that
laughed?
silent?
I laughed, but I quieted myself. So I have a special hate for strobe lights, but I get why they work. I think that a normal flashlight is good enough most of the time.
No, they're dumb.
So
all lights. Well, it depends. So prime example, and this is a story I love to tell, and I think, have I told you this one about Paintball City?
Maybe.
Oh.
I don't know. Tell me again. You usually do anyways.
The setup of Paintball City, as soon as you walk into the playfield, on the right-hand side, there's a place called the hotel. And on the far end of the hotel is a ramp or stairwell that leads up to the second floor. And it is the best breach point because there are no windows. The only place you can get shot from is that stairwell. And in order for them to shoot you, they have to expose themselves over a stairwell, over a railing of the stairwell. So they're a prime target, and it's just, as long as you've got one guy spotting, you're one of you two are golden.
Yeah.
So I played. They play this game named Zombies, where they put everybody up in the building, and one or two people are sent to go kill. And it was me and this other gentleman who had a strobe light on his gun and left it off. I didn't know he had a strobe light on his gun until we stacked up on the door of this wonderful stairwell because they had no defense on that side. They were looking at the doors, they're looking at the windows, they're expecting us to be cowards like them and shoot them from far away, where we were like, all right, let's fucking breach. And this guy, right as we post, he was the point man. I put my arm on the back of his jacket, gave him a tap. Well, I put my arm on the back of the jacket, gave him a tap, got ready. He puts on his strobe light right before he goes. So blink, 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 blink. I grabbed him, pulled him down to the floor, went around the corner, fired off 2 shots, just randomly got 2 hits, and was like, turn that fucking thing off, held him behind me, and just sat back watching the door. And then a renter popped his head around the corner. Bah! A renter popped his head around the corner, and just it kept going. But just they're pointless unless you like are know that where your targets are, and you can shoot from an vantage point, a point of advantage, because a vantage point isn't a word. Like kick ass. That little girl, hit girl, that the way she uses strobe light was correct. She put it away from herself and took the guys out from away from where they would shoot with a strobe light. Hers was infinitely better than the one he was using, but it still applies. If you're going to use a strobe light, use it last minute, and if you get the drop on someone. Yeah. It's meant to daze and confuse. It's not meant to broadcast your location.
Yeah. And so that's the tactical side of it.
It drives me insane. And the flip side
is Shaky is a buddy of ours who will give a seizure.
And it is seizure liability. Thank you, Jamie.
And Jamie just commented as I said it. So, and that's the thing that people don't realize is that, like, that's damaging. That can mess somebody up for the entire day. For life. And it's just one of those ones is that's why I say, like, a normal flashlight gives you an advantage. And I've also seen people use their lasers and, like, they shine it in the faces. And one guy who I was playing at DEF CON in Toronto, very small field, he used his laser properly. He flashed it in her eyes and then ran away. Flashed it in her eyes, ran away.
No, flash in the eyes is not using it
like properly. I mean, in the eyes, but that's in our general direction.
Oh, like I use that's even that. Like flashing, if you flash it, it's like if you're gonna take a gun out, put a mag in it, and aim it downrange. If you're going to aim it at something, be prepared to kill it. If you're going to aim a laser pointer at a person, be prepared to blind them. You either aim it above them and scare them, or below at the ground. That's it goes the same with the strobe light seizure liability. Yeah. If you're going to use a laser, never aim it at eye level. Aim it at the floor. Use it as a scare tactic. In paintball, it's not a tactical advantage. Paintballs do not fly in a straight line, no matter how well you think you've got that shit sighted in. It's a round ball coming out of a bigger round hole with very shitty ballistics.
Yeah.
Nothing you do with a laser is going to help.
Yeah. So, and those are the two puff pieces. Now, that being said, flashlights definitely do matter in paintball. If you play indoor, outdoor, if you play late, dusk, they do work, but be respectful of those players. If you hurt somebody like that, like if you mess up their eyes, you might be playing with them on the next round. Be aware of that. This isn't they're always my enemy game. And
look at monkeys. Monkeys are a prime example. You you give a monkey unfair food and they want to rip your face off. If you hurt that monkey that ate that woman's face, apparently it was because it was apparently a great and well-trained monkey forever. But a well-trained monkey is a whipped and beaten monkey, and that monkey held a grudge until one day it was like, I've had a fucking enough. I'm gonna eat your face. And what if you shining a laser in somebody's eye was that last straw? They're like, fuck you, I'm gonna beat your face in. And it happens. There's YouTube videos all over the place of something as stupid as he burned our patch, where some asshole lit a guy up. Well, like it just, you never know who the asshole is who's going to want to hurt you. Yep. And that's the problem with paintball. Somebody shot marble allegedly, because now it's not even, it's alleged now because there's no marbles ever found. Pardon me. That game, there was no marbles ever found. It was all alleged.
I thought they
because
did find
people were hurt. No, there was just hurt ribs, and it was somebody probably shooting way hot.
I don't know about that one. I heard that they did find the marbles, but if you're saying they didn't, like, that's it. It's a kind of a weird situation there, but
still, and that goes back to, if you're going out there to hurt somebody, don't be an asshole. Yeah. Paintball's a game. It's just for fun.
It's like just a game. At the end
of the day,
that's why
there's people who run around in Canadian tuxedos and Hawaiian shirts. It's because it's for fun, and it's less lethal training. That's all it is. Yeah. If that's as far as if that's if you want to be tactical about it, that's as far as you should take it. It's less lethal training. Wear whatever you want, do whatever you want, play any way you want. Gear is gear is gear is gear. As long as you've trained to know where your shit is and you know where it is, because there's nothing worse than you're like, hey man, I'm out. Can I borrow a mag? And seeing a guy fumble with his shit. And it's like, man, when was the last time you wore that? Oh, I just took it out of my closet a week ago.
Yeah. And Corey has a comment too. We're talking just odds and ends and weird stuff.
Footwear.
Footwear. It's 100% like ankle support and like I've seen guys go out in their soccer cleats still, and I'm like, I get it for the advantage, but don't track me through the woods in that. So.
Oh, I will track the shit out of you. I love my soccer cleats.
I like them. I don't trust my ankles in the woods with those. Like jumping over a log, I'm like, I'm gonna wreck myself for a month.
That's because you sit behind a desk all day. I work on my feet. Yeah. I'm sorry. No, I don't mean to dig.
No,
I work on my feet all day.
Yeah.
And I can, and you can, there's like, I don't know if there's video evidence, but there's definitely testimonies. I am one fast motherfucker, no matter what you put on me. And then you put a pair of football cleats on me, and good luck. Because like with extra grip, which comes back to another thing, learn how to run. If you're going to get into paintball, because you're going to do a lot of it. A lot of fields are huge. Laugh away.
No, I'm laughing at the comment, but I'm just laughing at Adam's comment.
Yeah, no, I love soccer cleats. They're probably some of the best. The problem is they've got no use in places like PRZ because of those tiled floors and those hard concrete. You slip and slide. I went CQB. That was OG SWATs, and I've worn, when I play tactical paintball, I wear the OG SWATs. The OG SWATs, and they're just good guns. Sorry, my feet fucking hurt. You had to bring it up. Somebody had to bring up feet. I work in OG SWATs, and it's a big mistake. Pardon me?
Oh, just Terry's comment, but I will kill myself in the side of a wooden structure, like just like the sliding into and like.
Oh yeah. Oh, those are worse.
Yeah.
Or metal. The worst is inside of shipping containers when they have the metal floors, and it's like, fuck.
Or if you're playing early and then there's the dew, and then you try and switch it out later, and it's like, oh, that's... I hate the dew when I don't have my like good grip on, because I'm like, I'm going to go for a run, and I'm going to slide down this hill. But yeah, so... All right, well, we're getting close to the hour mark.
And what do you got to do? You could sleep on the train tomorrow. Come on. Let's go a little bit longer. We got a huge fan base today.
Little bit longer.
Let's go half an hour. 10 o'clock.
Not 10 o'clock. Not 10 o'clock. Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
I'm getting called already.
Thanks, Adam.
So, there was another piece of gear I was going to mention. I forget what it is now.
No, well, footwear still. Back to footwear. Back to running and stuff. Mm-hmm. Don't wear running shoes. They seem like a great idea, but he's right. No ankle support, but also in the mud, no grip. And once you go from mud to any of the other surfaces we talked about, no grip. You slip, you slide. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It fucking hurts.
Yeah.
A lot.
And an ankle injury is something that like that puts you out for your entire day, and then someone like you, like you're working on your feet all the time, that can put you out really for weeks, months, maybe, depending. Yep. Like I was walking the dog, and he saw a rabbit right as we stepped out of our house, and he tweaked my wrist. And it was one of those things. I have little ones. I pick them up. I do stuff. And I honestly had like a sore wrist where I wanted to maybe go paintball one weekend. And I'm like, I literally can't hold my marker.
Like an electrical shock feeling, but it like carpal tunnel kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that every time I try to like, I'll silly enough, when I twist my screwdriver a little too hard, shit you not, I just and it's just right down my arm, and it's like, oh fuck, did I hit a circuit or something?
Yeah.
Like,
and then
the first thought is, did I shock myself? But then I'm like, oh, this thing's plastic.
Yeah, and then it's more like, oh, I'm fine. Then you go to do something, and I'm like, well, there goes the entire like ability to hold a glass all of a sudden for like 5 seconds, and then you're good after that. Those are the things. And the other one too is that like if you put the investment into paintball boots, don't just wear them for paintball. So we just talked about SWATs. I've had a pair of SWATs now.
$200 SWATs, right?
3 years. Yeah, for 3 years I have SWATs, and I'll be getting a new pair probably this winter. But a year they were my paintball boots, And then they became my winter boots and my commute boots, and like those things are so comfortable that I'm like, why didn't I start this sooner?
Thomas Mock wears OG Swats 24/7. They are
Yep.
his footwear of choice. He wears them till the soles are gone, and then he just grabs another pair off the shelf and
Yep.
writes it off, or whatever it is that he does. But like he wears them down to nothing.
Yeah.
And they're good. They're good, comfortable shoes to him. He likes it.
Yeah.
Or I don't know what he does anymore, but that was previous stories from
exactly.
from
And-
Legends Past.
And that's the thing is like, and people don't realize that like the ankle support you get them like Scott made a comment, hiking shoes or 5.11 boots, like yeah, like get good like support. You are probably like you're gonna switch from woods to grass to buildings. All of those things are just crazy. And Nathan commented, I'm assuming for the like the Swats, is that they're like slippers if you unzip the sides. Like they're just they're just straight comfy. And
Well, I've already. That's the next thing I buy on my next pay cycle is I'm gonna get a new pair of boots. I need a new pair of boots. My OGs have no sole left. The waterproof lining thing, every time I try to take my shoe off without a shoe horn, comes out.
Yeah.
They're
thing is
great boots
mine
for
got
the
eaten by
first
salt.
6 months. Yeah, salt's a big problem with them, and
Yeah.
just snow. Snow is the killer.
Yeah, which is what killed
Go to
mine
the gym and my
last year.
OGs. Wow, James, when do you go? You got to send me messages, man. I would love to. I didn't know you go to the gym. I need to go to a gym. I need to get my cardio up. No, this is.
I know. It's
sorry.
It's like half Segway
it's-
burn, half like you go to the
half
gym. When do
Segway
you go to
burn,
the
half
gym?
Segway. What the fuck, man? What a dick. Thanks for being a friend. I go to the gym and I play flag football, but not with you. Fuck you, Jarvis. I'll just pay for your games because I'm a good guy, but fuck everything else. Which, if you gotta watch the beginning of the show, James. I'm not telling you what happened.
Things were said, stuff was done.
What a dick.
I said things were said and stuff was done. That's as vague as you can get, and then it entices them to go watch it. But yeah, so boots are good. It was knee pads. That's where I was going to go with your.
Yeah,
latest
no,
question.
I always. So I have a. You can ask. There again legends and stories of PRZ games past. One of my 24/7. Oh! Sorry, that actually reminded me that none of that made any sense to me. But Oakley's. The Oakley tack boots are phenomenal.
Oh, yeah?
I have a coworker who wore them. He still has the same pair. He's worn them for probably 3 years now. Fucking amazing. Like they have shown almost no sign of wear except for in the soles.
Yeah.
Which is just phenomenal. But he's also he's a Canadian Forces Reserves,
Okay.
I believe. So he polishes the shit out of them. He brings his boot polish thing to work. He's a wonderful guy. I love working with that guy. Little Bolivian gentleman.
Yeah. So
No names.
So for knee pads, biggest mistake I see people make: 1, your knee pads are integrated into your pants, and 2, you wear hard knee pads. Okay, so you have a little bit of a debate there.
50-50. I have the Condor knee pads where they have the hard outer shell, but they're kind of softer underneath. They've got a good half inch of padding. Those are phenomenal.
Well, yeah, because they have like the actual good padding on them.
Yep. One of my sorry, I was going to say earlier, one of my patented maneuvers, not patented. I shoot a couple shots at the floor between hallways, and I knee slide between the two rooms, and that is just for a little bit of lubricant. And if I didn't have knees, I tried it. I went and played airsoft. Big mistake with Rolo and Alabaster Slim, and I didn't do the shots. I just saw there was a doorway, there was a little bit of a hallway, and I went for the knee slide, no knee pads, and just
Yeah.
face first, right into the fucking ground. It was the most. It fucking sucked
Yeah.
a lot. But you need to have them. Guys who try to do one knee pad, it's good depending on how you shoot and what you plan on doing. But if you're at CQB or you're at in a CQB environment and you're at PRZ, especially, 2 of them. Josh,
So you said like the new combo. So Fat Damon, a buddy of ours, his dad got a pair of new ones from Milsim Exclusive, where you can actually remove the knee pads and then put them back in, and they had a good padding. I liked those ones. My thing is I wear dye ones right now, and it's just like a day of paintball. I take those off, and I'm like they're too tight. at this point. Like just getting older, getting fatter. They're too tight. But
fuck, Josh McKeever, ODST old school. I'm sorry, man. I only ever follow you on Instagram because I'm an asshole. Fuck, hey buddy, how you been? He moved out to Alberta. He Canadian Forces. I think he's posted. I don't remember the fuck your posts, man. I'm not gonna tell anybody. Sorry, carry on.
But yeah,
hey man, long time no see, missed you.
The ones that I say like that integrate into the pants is that make sure the pants actually sit on your knee, and like we said, like something like removable, like you can take it out. There's good padding. So I've told the story before, but to mention it again, I wear die cam pants. I'm not wearing them next year. I've enjoyed them. They're not necessarily bad, but the knee pads drive me nuts because I got a bigger size due to a sale thing, and they sit so far down that I slid once without knee pads and it popped under my kneecap and put me out for the rest of the day. And like I said, it's the two things that I'm like, I need to get something better. And something as simple as just going and getting like volleyball knee pads, like cheap sports ones, Walmart, stupid thick padding, and that will cover you.
Jamie, on the single knee pad note, it's for guys who know they're not going to go onto both knees because say they've got a problem and they just want to support, or a guy who likes to take the designated marksman role where they know they're going to spend a lot of time on one knee, so they just have one thing on there. Full knee pads built in. Well, yeah, those Emersons. I said that in one of our last games. I fucking love my real Emerson pants because they have adjustable straps on the inside where you can actually pull the knee pad up and fit it to where your actual knee is. It's beautiful. It's a great design. I'm glad I bought the real thing at one point in my life. Those things were torn to shreds, and I think
I'm just
Rancid.
looking up the ones
go ahead.
they just mentioned, but the CAF ones.
Rancid had a pair, and he tore. It was funny because he tore a huge hole in the crotch and loved them so much that he got. It was offered, but Tyler's grandmother, Tyler Batstone's grandmother, decided to stitch them back for him, and they were better than they were to begin with. She just did this wonderful stitch job with this patterned fabric underneath that just happened to match the coloring enough underneath as a patch. It was fucking perfect. You'll have to share that Canadian Air Force combat pants.
Yeah, those are the ones that I just looked up.
I'll have to talk to Belgium. I have a friend who's he works on the snowbirds down in Moose Jaw. Hopefully I can get a pair off him or Callum. Callum, he works with the Air Force now.
Yep.
Out in Cold Lake, poor bastard.
Just pulling it up here because the other ones too is like I'm looking at the bottom.
Why did you stay in Edmonton, man? Canadian Air Forces. Sorry, I my brain just splits.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So on Milsim exclusive, they have the pants there. They don't state like if they're a brand or anything like that, but yeah, like it's a hardcover, but like I said, they come off. And the nice thing there is like if it's one day where you don't need that kind of thing, like you can just rip it off, put it back on. Like it's just nice. But just go to Walmart, get a $30 pair of cargo pants if you need something to start off with, and then, like we said, there's so much Christmas tree and paintball that you don't really need. That being said, my wife decorates our Christmas tree ridiculously, so I can't say that too loud.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't even want to talk about my wife's family with Christmas. As soon as October, no, what is it? It's 199 days before Christmas, she has a Santa Claus out front in her living room. Like, as soon as you walk in the door, there's fucking Santa Claus that is a countdown for 199 days.
November 12th is when Christmas decorations are allowed to be up. Always November 12th. Nothing goes up before Remembrance Day.
Right?
That is the hard and fast rule that my wife's family has.
Condors
are like on the 12th is everything's getting pulled out at once. Yeah, so I could say like it's just at the end of the day, what we've always said is make it comfortable.
I would like to reiterate.
Make
it comfortable, make it your own, train the way you practice, play the way you train the way you play. Do your best all the time and play by the fucking rules. Mm-hmm. If anything, if you can pick up anything from this podcast, is play fair. If you don't play fair, no one will ever trust you. No one will ever play with you. Yes, thank you. Someone else does that. November 12th. Yes. Remembrance Day. But if you're a purist and you're an American, nothing past Pearl Harbor. Nothing before Pearl Harbor.
Fair enough.
Nothing before December 12th because I'm retarded.
To Josh's comment on the i5s, I like them.
Never worn one.
To buy them myself. The strap is better for like keeping it compressed to your face. I stick with Vios because they were that little bit lower drop, and I like how I can take them apart, put them together, and their color segues. But I've tried on the i5s. They're good. If that's within your budget, get them. If it's not within your budget, nothing is truly perfect after you hit like that. Now that the Ascends are out that use the same lens as a Vio. No, let me finish. The Ascends use the same lens as the Vio. Because of that, really anything above in price, unless it's within your budget, is fine. Okay, go ahead. What do you want to say?
Are you finished?
Yes,
Are you finished? Did Beyonce have the greatest record of all time? Okay. Anyways, thank you very much, Kanye. As far as the i5 goes, I've never physically worn one. I've seen a ton of those. But as long as you've got an i4 and you've spent the money on an i4 and you spent the money on the i4 lenses, there's no sense in spending that money again on a slightly lower mask with slightly softer ear pads and a slightly easier to adjust hard hat, helmet, adjusting clicky thing on the back. Waste of money. Yeah, great. If you've never bought a mask before and you're willing to spend the money, buy an i5. Great mask. But if you've already got an i4 or you've already got a mask you love it for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to dissuade you from whatever you have. The i5 is a good gun. The i5 is it's a good looking mask. It uses the same, like I have easily 100 i4 lenses between all my different little bags full of them.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to buy anything but Dive forever because I've got too many lenses.
And that's my thing, like I said, like with the Virtue, is that like I made the jump into that 2 feet after my grills let me down. But that's the thing, I had a mask that I liked. It let me down.
Well, they also cornered themselves. They had to make a mask with the same lenses because they had the same mask for so long. And again, people stockpiled lenses because they were expensive at times. And then when they went on sale, they were dirt fucking cheap. So guys bought 4 of them at a time because they knew one hit and I have to replace this, or I have a scratch in my eye and they're fucking finicky and I have to change it.
And the other part too, though, is that like if there's lenses are interchangeable, because then if I buy an i4 or an i5, the same lens that's an extra lens sells to both of them twice technically the market, give or take sort of thing. So you kill a revenue stream by not creating the new lens to sell. But yes, you are correct. It's good to have something that you keep it on the market and you can keep selling it for your new product. I like to think of it like Morty, I think we're on a segue here. I like to think of it like a phone charger. Eventually, you have to choose the micro SD because people are going to get a new phone and they really don't want to. I'll wait. I can still hear it.
I know. I'm kidding. They really don't want to spend the money on a brand new charger. Yes, the i4 lenses fit the i5. It's the same lens. It's the same. Yeah, exact same lens.
The thing to mention on it too, though, is that means it's the same visual. What you can see out of the mask is the same as an i4. It is literally how it fits.
You have the same profile.
Yeah.
Yep. You have the same visual profile no matter what. They lowered. I think the lower end they brought it down a little bit more, so you have a little bit low end. Because the biggest problem with the i4 was you couldn't see your mags until you like tucked your turtled your head in and looked down. You couldn't see what was in front of you, so they kind of lowered the profile on the bottom end so you could look down a little better. But wow, pardon me, times 2. Excuse me. I think that's the only real improvement to the visuals, but otherwise same visual profile, so it doesn't really matter for your sightline. But for the
you're one of like what 3,000 paintballers who runs a Defender
ever. The only other, and I'm sorry Joshua, but the only other player I have ever seen on the field that ran a Defender was a kid's mom. He was a rich kid from. Sorry, let me rephrase that. He's a wonderful kid named Aaron. Him and his mother came from Dubai specifically specifically to come to summer camp and learn from me, which was like the greatest honor. They played with me at Canadian Carnage 2. They did a shout out to this little guy who came all the way from Dubai just to play at Canadian Carnage 2 or whichever. So he heard about Georgina's paintball camp. They had friends and family nearby. The kid spent a week with me doing paintball, but his mother ran a Defender, and I was like, okay, cool. And she had so many. It was one of the first gens, and there was a lot of problems with it. Yeah. But I'm sure yours is phenomenal. But that's every time I see it. Every time somebody's like, "Oh man, I love the Defender," it's like,
yeah,
okay,
they're cool.
Sure,
I like what they did. It's not for me. It's not practical to me. So just leave it at that.
Well, you know what though? Okay, I do have to if you're a heavy gunner and you're used to loading your gun from the middle and the top, and you're spending some time like. You're used to keeping it. Well, it's good for you to keep a sight profile, crack it open, fill it. And no, the T15, again, I had a big problem. My first T15, it blew apart on me, so I gave it away and told the guy to pay me when he had the money. That's how much I didn't want it.
It's all good.
Carry on.
I think we are going to have to call it there, though, just because it is getting later. But
it's a good show. Gears, again, play the way you train the way you play, or practice the way you intend on doing it.
Yeah.
Always remember, keep your finger off the trigger.
Yep.
Lame. Sorry, Josh. You got to tune in at 8:30 or 8:30ish because
8:30ish,
we have
always
lives.
the ish. But yeah, so thank you so much, guys, for checking us out. As always, you can find us on Facebook under Talking Tactical. Like us there. That's where all our live streams come from. We are on YouTube if you want to catch the video on another platform. Also, anywhere you get your podcast, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, other places, just look for Talking Tactical. Audio versions are up usually within 48 hours of airing. So as always, Nero, thank you so much for coming and talking with us. Guys, thank you so much for joining us in the chats, and we will see you on
Twitter.
the field. And Twitter. Oh, sorry. Twitter, yes. Twitter is Talking Tactical or Talking Tactical Podcast?
If you're going to pay for it, Corey, I will definitely go to 0 next year. Pardon me?
Are we Talking Tactical Podcast or just Talking Tactical on Twitter?
On Twitter, we are just at Talking Tactical. I think
go.
Everything except for Facebook and one other thing, we're Talking Tactical Podcast.
I think they're just the two, because maybe if you search Talking Tactical, you'll find us everywhere. So let's leave it at that.
Whatever, you'll find us if you look for us. We're the only one of our kind with that lovely flank maneuver.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will catch you on the field, and until next time.